Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The three, steps back, crossover, puts up a three. Rebound James. Seconds. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Good morning, Cavs fans, afternoon, evening, whenever you're listening to this show, and welcome to another edition of the Block the Shot to Stop, a Cleveland Cavaliers podcast. I'm Tim Daniel. Joining me today, we got the crew together. I think this has happened like twice this offseason. Kevin, Skylar Webker, Kevin Lynch, we are here, and we are talking today, the Donovan Mitchell, doing our season recap and season preview of what we get to expect from him from the 2025-2026 season. And guys, I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited to talk Mitchell because obviously he is kind of the engine that keeps it all rolling. So we're going to have some fun with this one.
No doubt. This is Donovan Mitchell is the kind of core piece that really brought all these pieces together. Obviously, we had the other three guys before he got here, but he really solidified the Cavs as far as a playoff contender, as far as a just championship level team. He is the player for this team.
And Kevin is currently looks like he's doing like the Pablo Torre Explains podcast with his lighting in his room going a little in and out, but that's okay. So yeah, well, we're getting to that too as well. Kind of know we're kind of a few weeks before the season starts. I'm so happy, and obviously everyone knows my other gigs. I cover teams that aren't very good. Skylar covers the same teams, so I need Cavs basketball in my life so bad.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I don't know. I'm also a big fall guy, and like basketball season's the big like
word.
Basketball and football season are like the big welcome to fall sports.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And like basketball is so great for winter because it just gets you through how like when it's 12 degrees outside and you can't do anything.
Yeah, when going outside makes your face hurt.
Yeah. For sure. All right, so let's kind of start here. Well, we're waiting for Kevin to get. All right, we got Kevin back here. Awesome. All right, guys. So Donovan Mitchell, obviously, like Skylar said, he's the thing that keeps it going, right? He is the wheel. And we all love Evan Mobley. We all know how much I love Evan Mobley. And we suspected that's going to be the step Mobley takes this year, is he's going to end up being the wheel, and Donovan Mitchell probably being the biggest cog that they need. But here's what I will say about it. Coming off a first-team All-NBA season, coming off a 1C where he was the best player on the best team, an all-star starter, there's a lot riding on Mitchell going into the season. There's the obvious that Darius Garland's going to be missing some time. Now we know Max Strus is also out, like you guys covered. And there's a lot of just kind of conversation of what his role is going to be in that time frame, obviously with Lonzo coming in and so on and so forth. Scott, I don't know if you remember, you and I had the conversation a couple of months back where I said I thought that truly, yes, do I think Lonzo will start some games while Garland's gone for sure, but I also believe there's going to be a lot of Donovan Mitchell, Sam Merrill starting lineups while we're kind of going through this process.
Yeah, I think especially in the beginning, because you don't know what you're getting from Lonzo yet. Obviously, missed a ton of time with that experimental knee thing to replace his meniscus or something like that. And he came back and did look good as a bull when he came back, but I think they're very cautious on their usage for Lonzo. I mean, they've already talked about not being available in back-to-back games. So I'm curious on if they will start him, because there are definitely going to be games where you want him in the closing rotation because of the defensive presence that he gives you at the one spot.
Yeah, I completely agree. Kevin, we got you back yet?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Here's my other hot take. I don't know if this is really hot take anymore. I'll let Kevin decide. Kevin's really good at this. Hot take, Kevin. I think I'm at the point where I fully believe, because, every NBA player, every NBA star has a legacy team, right? Like LeBron's it's great. LeBron won titles with the Heat and the Lakers. He's a Cav. Kevin Durant, he's a Warrior. I think the Cavs are Donovan Mitchell's legacy team now. It's the only team, as far as his NBA career goes, it's the only team he was ever All NBA. It's the only team he ever received MVP votes, and he was an All-Star starter when he never was with Utah. So I think right now, obviously there's a lot of his career to go. I think Donovan Mitchell's legacy is truly a Cavalier.
As of now, for sure, I would question your Kevin Durant and Warriors take. Like, I don't know if Kevin Durant belongs to anybody. He's the nomad. But
I only went with the fact he's a 2-time Finals MVP for the Warriors. So
I mean, as of now, Mitchell and the Cavaliers, I completely agree. He had a lot of success with Utah, but nothing like last season with the Cavs. And he's just kind of the unquestioned leader of this team. He's much more of a veteran. And he's only 28, so we'll see kind of where his career goes from here. But as of now, yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's summarize the season from last year before we look forward. As we mentioned, first team All-NBA, was 5th in MVP votes, All-Star starter, 9th in comeback player of the year, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Clutch player of the year.
Clutch player of the year. Oh, yeah. 9th? Whatever. But also signs a big contract in the offseason going into the year. Is kind of the biggest part of the 16-0 run offensively. And honestly, in Kenny's regime, maybe a lot of it is just because of who's behind him. I thought probably had his best defensive season since his rookie year in Utah, where he had Gobert behind him, and like he really tried hard on defense. Like, I'm never going to go in here and talk to you guys about like Donovan Mitchell was a defensive difference maker, but the effort was there. He wasn't scared to be stuck in isolation defense. And I really feel like he did a really good job of disrupting pass lanes last year. So this is where, like, coming off last year, going into, no, let's also not forget when everything was going to hell in the postseason, he was still playing really well until that ankle injury popped up again. So there's a lot riding on Donovan Mitchell going to this year, but it's all because of how great he was last year.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm curious to see what the beginning of the season looks like because of the missing Garland for most of it, because I think he plays the best when he's at the 2, when he doesn't have to be the facilitator of the maestro of the entire offense all on his own, where he can just really be that offensive defensive presence. I think we'll see how he starts the season around that. And I'm curious to see how the kind of minutes rotation works this year with the injuries that we're starting the year with, because he played a career low in minutes and still got all those accolades.
Kev, I'll have you follow up on that, and then I do have another very serious question for you afterwards.
Yeah, I agree with Skylar in that he is best when he can play off the ball the majority of the time. I think we saw that in the Pacers series, how despite him having good games, those first couple of games, how hard he was having to work and how, labored he was at the end of the games. I think he might not have a choice to begin the year without Garland, without Strus. I think he might have to shift into a little bit more of that on the ball playmaker role, at least temporarily that first month or two. But that's okay if it's a temporary thing and it's something that, like we've talked about before, you can use this opportunity being shorthanded as an advantage to kind of have guys expand their roles and, create maybe even a little bit more flexibility with the team when those guys come back. So I agree with Skylar, but I think Mitchell might have to play a little bit out of character that in those first couple of months to start the season.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought process when I was kind of mentioned. I think you're going to see a lot of Mitchell, Merrill, Hunter, Mobley, Allen starting lineups. Really kind of curious what those teams look like in crunch time. But Kevin, we can't talk about the Donovan Mitchell 2024-2025 season without mentioning one game in the Garden, down 22-3, and Mitchell goes crazy, leading one of the biggest comebacks in Cavs history.
That was the game and the single performance, I think, by Mitchell that got Cavs thinking this team was for real and could make a real run at the championship. Now we know how it ended, and the season ended. But that was a reminder that Donovan Mitchell is that big game player when the Cavs need him to be. He obviously took a back seat offensively for a lot of the season last year, for kind of the betterment of the team, but that he still had that in him. And then he obviously showed it the first 3 games of the Pacers series, as well, as you were saying.
Yeah. So kind of going through a couple of things here, just kind of recapping. So 24 points a game, even 5 assists a game, 4.5 rebounds a game. He was really good at tracking down long rebounds. I think we talked about that a bit through our game recaps last year. Took a little bit of a dip shooting wise, but I kind of understand it as well. 823 from the free throw line, 368 from 3 actually matches the year before. And then 443 total field goal percentage. But that's all to be said that without obviously having an incredible year, the other conversation we had to have about it is, Skylar, this is the guy who understood that less is more. This is the guy who was like, look, if I can take a step back and I get Darius more involved, I get Evan more involved, I get whoever's on the wing more involved, whether that's Karis, DeAndre, Max, Sam, you name it. He's like, but he kind of got to that point where it was like, if I take a little bit of a step back and my guys succeed, we're going to be a better team. And with all that being said, he still is incredible.
You know what my favorite stat is, right?
Plus minus?
Exactly. If you look at his basketball reference page, his plus minus skyrocketed last year to an average of 11.5 positive. His previous career high was 8 in Utah. So, really, really contributed highly to this team by not having to be I have to take over every game. I have to get X amount of shots every game, which really let this team, rising tides rise all ships. So I think that he really took this leadership role on this team. And like you said, really saw that if I take a step back and my other guys start succeeding, that just makes us a more dominant team as a whole. And he's one of those rare superstars that are actually super team oriented and not self-oriented, which is awesome for us, for the Cavs fans, for just basketball in general.
So Kev, with what Skylar's point is, lowest usage rate since becoming a Cavalier, 3rd lowest of his career. First season of his NBA career, his turnover rate was under 10%. Oh no. Oh, we got.
I think we lost his mic.
Uh-oh. All right. Give me 4 seconds here. All right, we apologize about that. Technical difficulties got the best of us here. But Skylar, looks like Kevin had some network connectivity problems, as our good friend Burt Macklin, FBI, says in the past. I think it's easy to say that with this being in mind, that there's a lot riding on Donovan Mitchell. There's a lot riding on his success and obviously become the team player we all talked about. So I want to go ahead and forward to your predictions for the upcoming season for Donovan Mitchell.
Honestly, if we get a repeat of what we got last year, isn't that exactly what we want and need? And I think if you have a repeat of last year, you open the door for that next level of Evan Mobley, which he's been very open about, which the team has been very open about, as far as making Evan Mobley your best player on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Donovan Mitchell wants that. I think this is the perfect setup. I think he's chasing that getting to the finals monkey that's been hanging over his head. Because he's made it to the playoffs every year of his career.
Yep.
But he just can't seem to get to the final stage. And I think that's starting to weigh on him. And I think he knows this is his best chance to make it there with this team, with this set of players, with this coaching system. So if we can get a repeat of what we got last year, I think we'll be there. We'll be there in the end.
Yeah. Here's my bold Donovan Mitchell prediction for 2025-2026. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. NBA Cup MVP and top 3 in MVP voting.
Ooh. Give me finals MVP.
I mean, I would take that too. Yeah.
Well, you
I
put
think it's
out
gonna be a lot
there,
of
you
fun.
put the bat signal out on our Instagram for some questions, and we got one that we really want to go over before we close out here.
Yeah. So good friend Wes from the land asks us, let me pull this up real quick. Can Larry Nance end up being a bigger acquisition than Lonzo Ball? And yes, I think it's the biggest answer. Obviously, health goes into that, but I feel like Nance is going to play more games. I feel like Nance, if the team's fully healthy, hits a bigger need than Lonzo does. But obviously, with Garland and Strus and everyone being out, it's a little different. And I also feel like Nance just kind of that physicality, that whole other level, that athleticism. He brings a little more. Where Lonzo's great at spacing the floor, Nance is like that perfect, like hang out in the dunker spot kind of guy. That you kind of see a lot of that drive and dish from the guards when they kind of try to take advantage of that and just drop the ball from the dunker spot for a player. So yeah, I certainly think he could end up being one.
Yeah, I think Lonzo has the most concrete role as of right now because we know where Lonzo's going to be on this team.
Mhm.
I think I can't remember if I was talking with you on it or with Kevin on it, but I think what Larry Nance gives you is relief in the big man position, so Jared Allen doesn't have to play 82
Right.
games. Where if you take out Jared Allen, Mobley doesn't have to be the 5. He can still be kind of the wing, shoot threes and get the paint, kind of that all around player because you have Larry Nance who can back up Evan Mobley in the paint. So I think he value wise, I mean, obviously it's a league minimum deal and everything like that, but I think we're going to get a lot out of Larry Nance this year. And I think he's ready for that because he's not ready to call it a career or anything like that, though he's been in the league for a while. He's nowhere close to being done. And I think this is home for him. He loves to show out for Cleveland and for Cleveland fans. So I think we're going to get the best out of Larry Nance that we might have ever seen.
Yeah, he's obviously really excited to be back. Did you see he was doing the drive-through at Swenson's the other day? He was working
did see
it.
that.
That was pretty awesome. I really like that. It's always fun to see this kind of guys. All right, and then we got that question out of the way. I didn't get any others, but if we do get any others that we see after recording, because those posts are still up, we will for sure get to this the next episode. But hey, man, it was nice to get this in. Are we done now? Are we missing one or?
I think we've hit all the players. So from here on out, it's going to be just fun stuff.
Perfect. Well, I want to thank you guys for spending some time with us today here on the Block the Shot to Stop. We apologize on the delay. We will get this. We got this going. We'll be back to our regular scheduled programming next week. Please be sure to hit that notification button on your podcast app of choice or on YouTube so you can get our show each and every week. And then during the season, after each and every game. On behalf of Skylar Webker, on behalf of Kevin Lynch, I'm Tim Daniel. Everyone have a great evening. And of course,
go Cavs.